Hi there, and as always, I don't plan on what I'm going to speak about. I just make it up as I go along, and that's like reality, really. It's quite amusing, when you get people saying, "Oh, this means that, this means the other thing, this color means that." What you got to realize is that everything has to come from a blank sheet of nothing at some stage, meaning that anything after that, once you have something, it's made up by someone. Everything's made up. It's not ignorant. It's the way it is, right? It's just common sense to see that at some stage you have to have a blank sheet of paper and you have to start the book, basically, and you have to make it all up. And the problem comes is when people start repeating it. That's how the system programs people. It's like the real government isn't who you vote for, but it's that which controls perception. What's controlling perception? There's a force controlling perception, and that's the real government. And when you're voting, that's what you're voting for. You're just voting for the cycle. But you got to understand that reality is made up by energy, emotion, energy, feeling, vibes. And so if you're not changing yourself, the energy and the reality will basically just stay the same. I mean, it's just as psychopathic now as it was when Tony Blair was in power. These people are crazy, these politicians, you see. You just have to look at them. They don't look right. They come across as very egotistical and not a care for the people. And I think it's insane. I think it shows how insane people are, the fact that they vote for them. It just shows you how crazy people are. And you got to understand that you can only the most powerful way to make change is, and the only real way, is to change yourself. You've got to change how you feel, and then you change your whole world. You change the world, the space you're occupying, and then that interacts with the next space and affects that. And this way of change is real change. There's no quick fixes. People have this imagination that if they vote for someone, it's going to change miraculously. No. You can only change, like I say, the best way to make change is to change yourself. That's how you make real change. That's just it. That's how you make real positive change. It starts by looking within yourself, changing your emotions, and then you change your reality. That's why wars happen in the world. Is because the people that are leading the countries aren't right in the head. They're not in their right minds. So therefore, they're at war with themselves, so they make war with other countries. If you had a bunch of people leading the world that are more balanced, that wouldn't happen. And that's what we've got. The government, the system is like the film The Matrix, and what the Matrix is a distorted energy system that is all mixed up, and that basically forms itself lower down in what we see as governments. But it's like the man behind the curtain in the Wizard of Oz film. That's the real system behind the curtain, manipulating perception and everything. Because our natural state, I've come to realize, is meditation, is mindfulness, is awareness, is love. But why is not everyone like that? Because they've been manipulated. Their perceptions have been altered to not be like that. It's a bit like that movie Back to the Future too, when Biff goes back in time and he messes up and fucks up the whole reality. And that's in some purpose, and that's kind of like what the system has done. But obviously there's a global awakening where people are waking up. They are realizing now that what the game is, and because it's getting closer to the system's goal, they're trying to rush it, you see. And so it's becoming obvious to the people, to the many, the masses, what's going on. Because the real system is scared. I believe the real system is a demonic force. I don't know what it looks like, but I think it's a demonic force. And I think when you watch demonologists and people who understand about demons, they say that they feed off of destructive, self-destructive emotions. And I think that's what the real system is. What's happened is there's an awakening going on, and so that's why the system is trying to rush all this scary stuff like coronavirus, 5G, climate change, and all these different stuff. It's all systematic. And it's obvious that it's systematic because it's so much of it. You wouldn't have so many disasters in one moment. So it's all, to me, it's all made up. Because it's not so much what 5G can do to you, it's more to do with the fear of thinking what 5G can do to you. That's what a demonic force would feed off of. But like I say, love and empathy destroys these demons. And it's really just a demonic energy field that's doing it. So what's happened is the energy is changing, and therefore everything changes. Once you change the energy, everything follows energy. And so that's what's going on the planet right now, is there's a big awakening happening where people are realizing, wait a minute, I can't really change my reality by voting. I can only change me. And then if everyone does that, we make real positive change, and we then will become a collective consciousness, a oneness collective consciousness, where we realize that we're all one. Like how I've been saying the last few days about MDMA, these feelings can be induced yourself. Like if you want to induce any emotion, you've just got to look at the emotion of, like for example, if you want an emotion from a drug, look at observe the way that you are when you're on that drug, and then just be that way. For example, if you're on MDMA, you're very clear, and if you want to feel like that all the time, just be clear all the time, because that clearness, that clarity, that is bringing on that amazing feelings. So that's how you induce any feeling. You just become it all the time. It's all to do with how you see things and how you perceive things, and that determines how you feel. That's why there's so many disasters in the world. It's to put us in a state of fear so that we don't feel good. The best way that you feel is always when you're clear and when you're at peace with your past. Once you're at peace with your past, then you enter euphoria. Because the reason people don't feel euphoria usually is because of negative things of the past. But once you make peace with that, you then enter a state of mindfulness, which is just euphoria. Mindfulness is a state of making peace with your past, and then you enter peace and euphoria and bliss. And this is very dangerous for the system, because this means evolvement. And that is very dangerous for a system that is trying to control human behavior and human society. But, brainwashing is just a way of life, and, you got two choices. You can either let the world brainwash you, or you can brainwash yourself. So you got to be your own self-hypnotist and do that to yourself. And understand that we are all, everything is simulated, is a computer simulation, and we're basically very computerized, and we just repeat what we experience. So you got to be very careful. And so this awakening, this unexpected spiritual awakening, showed me how to how to deprogram and reprogram myself. Because the world's intentions for you are bad. And like I say, it's this path and going along this pathway that I've been doing for about 9 years now, that has put me in this constant meditative state. because I've made peace with so many elements and situations from my past, you see. And then you enter the state of mindfulness and peace and joy because you've made peace with the past. So that's why you have to forgive the past, so that you can be in the state of mindfulness, where you've just got deep relaxation, and the deeper relaxation you have, the more euphoria you're tapping into. And you notice your breathing altering with that as well. So it's not just you don't have to do meditation to become meditative. You just have to make peace with your past. And this leads to forgiveness and of everything, and then you get more meditative and calmer and euphoric. And like I say, I'm just trying to pass this on. This is what I experience all the time, and I'm just trying to pass it on, really. All is within you. And I'm just going to leave it there. And if you're watching, you're meant to watch it. Everything falls to divine order and divine timing. Thank you for watching. Thank you.